Hi everyone, here's my Pegasus deck, Pegasus J. Crawford, or Maximillian Pegasus in the dubbed Duelist Kingdom deck. Whenever I make a Pegasus deck, it always seems like I make that deck more broken than the rest. It's just, I guess it's from that thing where, you know, Pegasus knew pretty much everything and had a counter for everything, knew how to play cards. And so I actually found someone on eBay who could create really good looking anime cards like Eye of Illusion, Negative Energy, Magical Neutralizing Force, Prophecy, Trap Displacement, Tears of a Mermaid, and also a game card, Talons of Shurlane. I don't really need to use that, but I thought it was cool. One of the only other illusion monsters. Also have some Pegasus music going on in the background too. I listen to the original OST sometimes. It's kind of cool. I call this one Pegasus's auric guitar, like aura. See, Grandpa Moto is explaining how some of these elements work because Yugi had a misplay. He played a water monster, Pegasus played a thunder monster, and thunder monsters have water monsters' attack points, and Yugi lost that round. So the four types of magic users: black magic, so Dark Magician, Dark Knight, Gaia, or just Dark Knight, anything with that in its name, Saggy the Dark Clown, and then those monsters automatically defeat white magic users in battle. So like Mystical Elf, White Knight, that was never revealed what kind of monster that was, Rogue Doll, and then those automatically defeat demons and devils in combat, so zombies and fiends, and then those automatically defeat illusion monsters because illusion monsters can't sort of bewitch demons and devils. So Illusionist Faceless Mage, Relinquished. What else is there? The monster I just showed you. And any monster that becomes an illusion monster. Like if you take control of a monster with the Eye of Illusion, it becomes an illusion monster in sort of Duelist Kingdom rules. Those automatically defeat or take, if their attack points are less, then you take no damage and your monster also does not take any damage. That's why, again, like Pegasus played Illusionist Faceless Mage, and against Yugi's Black Magician, which, you know, you can only attack with one monster per turn in Duelist Kingdom rules. It didn't die. So Pegasus equipped the Eye of Illusion on Illusionist Faceless Mage right there, and that's how he took control of Dark Magician. So that's just a little snippet, and I'll jump into the deck. I'll go over more of the rules another time, but so Reran, it's not bad actually, when, you know, and you don't need to use just one of a card in the deck, but for narrative and story purposes, of course, they really only used one of each card. But you also don't need to tribute monsters in Duelist Kingdom, as we know. When that came out at the time, it really screwed up everyone's learning curve because the people who actually wanted to play the game competitively actually read the rulebook, and the other half just watched stuff on the television, which they never explained why, you know, the rules were so different in Duelist Kingdom. When Battle City came out, it was more standard to how everyone, you know, understands it. And in the narrative, Kaiba actually created sort of the Battle City rules, like the way we play the game almost. So, Ryuran, 2600 defense, 2200 attack. You can actually set a monster in defense mode. So you can set this in defense and they can attack it. Dark Rabbit. I was glad when they actually made this in English. It took so long. I forgot what set this. SOVR, I forgot what that was. But anyway, so yeah, Pegasus used negative energy on the field when Kaiba played Sagi in attack mode, and he paired it with Crush Card. And the way Crush Card works, which is less broken in the anime and manga, it needed to be destroyed by battle. So the way magic cards work in Duelist Kingdom is even if your monster is face down, it's still considered on the field. So if you have negative energy face down and you flip it, double the original attack of all dark monsters on the field, it still counts. Just like the graveyard is considered on the field in Duelist Kingdom. So Red Archery Girl, a Silo Hero 2 or Watt Kid. This is the card that Pegasus played in the manga against Yugi's Great White, which is 1600 attack points. And so Pegasus normal summoned this, attacked into Great White, and destroyed it, and he lost 200 life points because this is 1000 attack points and it goes down to 800 Great White. Parrot Dragon. I'm glad they made that as an ultra rare too. It's kind of fun. The Curry Box, that was a normal monster. Illusionist Faceless Mage. I also try to aim for the originals, as you can see. No Live Anubis and no set number. Killer Needle, this was in his hand when Yugi defeated him. You could see it like on the board. And I guess the plus about this card is that it's a wind attribute, and usually wind monsters have an advantage over other kinds of monsters, like land monsters and stuff like that, which is pretty basic, but they even say that. So, for instance, Harpy Lady has an advantage over many land monsters. It can sort of just attack before they even get to do anything. Flying Elephant, this was in the flashback in the anime. I use it as a normal monster. So it's not bad, 1850. And the reason why Pegasus won in that turn versus Bandit Keith in the flashback is because, like in the Sacred Cards and other video games we played, wind monsters, again, trump basically earth monsters. So I think the way that would have worked is, I forgot where I read this or saw this or heard it, but Keith's monster would have lost attack points. So, or this would have gained attack points, I forgot. One of those. Toon Alligator. Thousand Eyes Idol. In the manga, this was actually, I think, 5 stars. Yeah. It's one of the media. Rogue Doll. I have 2 in here just because I wanted to use both versions. One of them is a rare, one of them is a common, both without the Eye of Anubis and the set number. Pegasus played this against, it's in the manga I just had, but he normal summoned this and destroyed Yugi's, what was it? Zombie Warrior, I believe. In the anime, this card is replaced with a trap card called Sun Shower, which is just infinitely more useless. These ones are just additions I put in, like Firewing Pegasus. To me, it's a callback to one of the original versions of this in Japanese, given as a prize card in early tournament. It has the word Pegasus in it. He uses rare cards he makes himself. So about Ciaryu, it's actually a very rare card in Japanese. If you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see I have the original secret rare version. I don't know how much it is now, but at the time it was only a few hundred. And I saved up for that. So Ciaryu in Japanese is called Holy Night Dragon, just like Serpent Night Dragon is the opposite. It's Devil Night Dragon, I believe. So holy monsters, like Rogue Doll is actually Holy Doll. Mystical Elf is Holy Elf. All of these monsters, again, have powers over like the fiend monsters and zombies, that they just destroy them automatically if they're higher attack points, or if they're lower, they take no damage. And I think they still get destroyed. I don't really remember. But anyway, so I think you get the picture. Oh, and this, again, I shouldn't have made this, but it's another dark target for like negative energy. And it's also an illusion monster, technically. It's one of these weird things where an illusory fiend that hides itself in mysterious mirages. So sometimes illusion monsters are, you know, written in the text, but it also looks like a relinquished kind of type. So it's very confusing, but anyway, it's a fiend in dark. So here come the fun cards. So Dragon Piper. The way this works in the manga is, back with it basically is the effect of releasing the dragon from the jar, and you know, you attack with the dragon. So in the first issue I just showed you, in that chapter, it had what did he do? He took control of Komori Dragon and added 200 attack points to Komori Dragon, which made it 1700 attack points to attack and destroy Yugi's Silver Fang. I hope you get it. Jigen Bakudan. So I wrote a little note on here. You can't attack bomb monsters. Their effects just, I guess, go off unless you target them with card effects. So, yes, so you can play this, and, you know, it's basically indestructible. It's like a Wabaku. And on your second turn, after you summon this, it destroys everything. And in the show, the way the cards work is that, just like Yugi versus Pegasus, if you have your opponent's monster under your possession, and your monster has the ability to protect itself, like Relinquish, to use another monster as a shield, it's not just as battle. It's if Relinquish will be destroy the equipped card instead. So it would destroy the Dark Magician, and Yugi would have lost the attack points to his life points. So, and just like how Yugi took control of Harpy's pet dragon from Mai, sacrificed it through an effect, and then, you know, Mai lost the attack difference. Dark Eyes Illusionist. This card is insane. If Pegasus just played this on the board and just drew until he had all of his counters, he would have probably won, because, you know, this can negate an attack basically once per turn. It's not confirmed if he could have kept doing that every single turn, but any monster that attacks this becomes entranced, and it can't attack again as long as he's on the field. In English, they printed it as a flip effect, which is just awful. You know, so you flip it and you target a monster and can't attack, which is just terrible. This should really be like negate an attack once per turn on this card. But it's really nice. I really like the ultra rare. Pegasus made these some of these cards to face Yugi with. And let me just put something on. Yeah, so I just found another music video of the shadow duel between Yugi and Pegasus when he played the illusion monsters. Dragon Capture Jar. This was used twice, and it's kind of confusing. Thank goodness the Bandai versions have like its original intention. So first, Pegasus played it as basically a trap card, which I have right here. again, original. And he flipped it over. But he did not play a monster on his first turn, which sort of leads me to believe as long as you place a card on the board, you don't lose the game. So you have to end your turn with a card on your field or you lose the game, something like that. But in the second duel, this became a monster versus Kaiba. So he literally just played it in defense mode and took and absorbed Kaiba's Blue Eyes. I don't think it was an equip card. No, it wasn't. It was just sort of removed from play, I think. And then the defense points of the monster you take, it's added to this. So Kaiba's dragon had 2,500 defense, so Dragon Capture Jar at 2,700 defense points. I put Witch of the Black Forest in here because this deck, Pegasus's deck relies on counters because he uses the Millennium Eye to read everything. So Witch searches out a lot of stuff in here, which makes the deck kind of more consistent. It's weird to say, with so many decent cards in here, but anyway. Dispel, of course. Magical Neutralizing Force. I had to figure out how I was going to word this, but negate your opponent's face-up magic, trap, and effects from magic and trap cards in their monster zones. Their face-up magic and trap cards are sent to the grave. So I had to figure out a way to say, all right, let's reverse the state of this field, which never happens in regular games. So if they have a Dark Magician face down under Magical Hats, this would verify all of those and just get rid of them. I love the original art. Style, no quip, sort of nothing on here, just basic. This is Bright Castle or Shine Palace. In the manga, it gave light monsters 500 attack points, but in reality, it gives one light monster 700 attack points. It's so corny. But this Toon World art is from the manga, which is kind of cool. And the original one from Magic Ruler was just used in the anime. And this music is the Japanese music for Toon World. Someone I know hates it. So Toon World, I spent so long trying to figure out what it does. And basically, on your opponent's turn, it's a Waboku, long story short. Yeah. And so, the reason why Kaiba was able to bind it with Shadow Spell is because you need a magic or trap card effect to target them. It's sort of theatrical, where when Pegasus said, now he'll hide back in the book. That's just theatrics, but if you target them with magic and trap cards, they're still on the board. Like in those scenes where you see his field, the monsters are still there. It's just theatrics hiding in the book and you can't touch them. But anyway. Negative energy, double the original attack of all dark monsters on the field. So, really good. Something, said to me, well, I wonder if this works on monsters with 2,000 attack or over, because most of the time they put equip cards on cards. It rarely ever is on, stronger monsters. I guess the one time Pegasus played Shine Castle on Blue Eyes White Dragon, which was called Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Oh, by the way, Toon monsters don't exist in the manga, like how we have it. It's just monsters that are toonified through the D&D magic of Toon World. Just FYI. So, anyway. Polymerization. Again, I have Thousand Eyes Restrict. That's really about it. So you have to sort of conserve your cards. Now, the way it works in the manga is that you can fuse two like monsters together to create something. So for instance, Kaiba fused Rabid Horseman and battle locks to create whatever that thing is, Rabid Horseman. I forgot what it was called. That makes sense, you know. So in theory, also there's a line in the manga when Yugioh versus Pegasus that says relinquished form is composed of the two monsters you sacrifice to make it. So that's why relinquished looks like relinquished in the manga, because he combined Dark Eyes Illusionist, or he sacrificed Dark Eyes Illusionist, and another monster that looked like just a random monster from LOB to make relinquished. So these relinquished wasn't actually really, I don't think they were cards, but you could see them in the anime, of course, like Pegasus held up Thousand Eyes Restrict. I don't remember if they were actual cards in the manga. For instance, when Yugi played his equip card, his ritual card, the form of Blackluster Soldier is actually Dark Knight Gaia, with the powers of chaos of, you know, black and white, whatever, the polarity. It's basically a revamped Dark Knight Gaia. No one knows that, but it is. So anyway, Monster Reborn, what is this? Black Illusion Ritual, Japanese Ultra. Mimicat, which is Doppelganger, as we know, which is kind of funny because you can actually flip this when they attack. Magic cards can be activated in response to attacks and cards that that work to play it against. Eye of Illusion, I had a hard time coming up with the effect for this. Target one monster you control, it can't be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage this turn. At the end of the damage step, gain control of one of your opponent's monsters until the end of your next turn. Your opponent can only attack the entranced monster. You would never see that effect in like reality. But really what it is it was narrative. It was Yugi played Black Magician. Pegasus summoned the Illusion Monster, which again has weaker attack points but is not destroyed against a black magic user. So Pegasus knew that and just put the Eye of Illusion on that, which would basically, you know, it doesn't have the your monster can't be destroyed by battle effect. It just has entrance an opponent's monster. That's literally the effect of the card in the manga. So Eye of Illusion, battled, okay, nothing happened, took control of it. It's kind of cheats, but I just stuck a toon table of contents in here. You can search for a couple cards. And Ryoku, that card is broken in the Duelist Kingdom era because it reduces half of your, it halves your opponent's life points and adds it to one of your monsters. I'm probably gonna take it out. Anyway, I didn't even think I would keep these decks together. Tears of a Mermaid, that was also hard to figure out. Negate the attack of an opponent's monster and the effects of cards equipped to it. Send its equipped cards to the graveyard. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so Pegasus had Red Archery Girl, and I remember which position. Yugi played Beaver Warrior, equipped it with Horn of the Unicorn. Pegasus played Tears of a Mermaid. So it basically stopped it, and I don't know what it really means to the Beaver's Lightning Strike backfired. So anyway. Trap Displacement. You know, this is like a card they should have made because it's so simple, it's so basic. Switch the target and or effects of a trap card to another target. I mean, in Magic Ruler, they made Fairy's Hand Mirror, which is the same thing for Magic cards. In the Doma series, which again is a filler arc, Mai played this against someone in the flashback to reverse or to take control of the Rush Recklessly quick play magic card. Anyway, speaking of my Harpy's Feather Duster, all of your opponent's spell and traps are destroyed in place of your own. So I think that's a cool little nod to if Pegasus played Mai, and let's say if she, she beat everyone by chance, Pegasus would be prepared. He would just flip this and destroy all of her back row, and then she would just lose. So it's kind of cool when you think about that. It also just fit. I think Konami was somewhat knew what they were doing, making these things, because the English starter deck for Pegasus, I mean, there's a lot of garbage in it, but there's, they did a decent job in making it. It was kind of fun. Gorgon's Eye. So I'm using the anime effect for fun. It's a continuous trap. And the way trap cards work in Duelist Kingdom is you can only activate, you can only have one trap card on the field per turn, or just, is it per turn or just in general? I don't remember. And so the activation requirements have to be met. And so when your opponent plays a monster in defense mode, you flip over Gorgon's Eye. And I guess it had an additional effect of if you destroy that monster, they take half the defense points to the life points. So I don't have stop defense in here because I have this. Yeah, so. Prophecy, the way I worded this was select one card. So when they draw, this is basically activated during the draw phase. Select one card in your opponent's hand and predict if its attack is 2,000 or greater or less than 2,000. Reveal it, and if you guess correctly, add it to your hand. You can't really, tell someone to stop when they're about to, summon something, but it actually is a rule in the Battle City that you have to declare you're going to sacrifice a monster before you do it, apparently. Two good cards. Magic Jammer, I stuck in here because Mirror Force, yeah, it's pretty broken. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So these are also cards I got, I commissioned to be made. I got Cynthia's card. I had this little canon where I know that he just painted the card. He didn't really take her soul and trap it in the card and find a way to free her from the card. Although in the anime, the story was Pegasus wanted to take control of Kaiba Corp and use the technology plus his Millennium items to revive Cynthia in Japanese. But in the manga, it was just he wanted to take control of Kaiba Corp to sort of make like a virtual Cynthia. It's more simple. And the Ties of Friendship also had that made too. Kind of cool. And once again, I just have the field spells here. The way I think of it as, these were sort of tests to test Yugi, and it's almost like to mock him in a way, I think. Having Yugi go through all of these different fields and play on all of them, pretty much. And it's almost like, building his confidence up and then knocking it down, because Pegasus was extremely confident he wouldn't lose. Everything was literally stacked in his favor in Duelist Kingdom. He was just, again, like very close. So that was Knights Are Strict and Relinquished. So I also have some side deck cards too that I never really got to put in. I just have laying around. Griffin's Wing, Fairy's Hand Mirror, Masked Sorcerer, which it's interesting because he has the Toon Monster in the Doma series, so it might be a nod to maybe he used it, maybe he had it in his deck, who knows. For Sago the Destroyer, Goddess with the Third Eye, Invitation to Dark Sleep. So I tried to comb over the sets that were split in the Japanese, because Pharaoh Servant is split with the other half, Curse of Anubis and Thousand Eyes Bible. And I don't remember if Invitation was, which one that was in. I could just look it up, but anyway. This is also an illusion monster in the video games as well, of course. Invitation to Dark Sleep. It's an illusion monster. So anyway, but yeah, Pegasus dipped in. They all dipped into Pharaoh Servant basically in TCG. Shift, land destruction, burning land actually, monster recovery, and something else. But Pegasus dipped into Magic Ruler with Red Archery Girl and Rio-Ran, so who knows. Mystic Clown, I was thinking like, well, you know, it kind of looks like an illusion monster, doesn't it? Like with the eyes and the stuff around his body. Another Paradragon, 2 more Rio-Rans. Ring of Magnetism, excuse me. I thought it would be kind of cool because you can equip this on Relinquished. And, you know, they can only attack that. So if you have other monsters on the field, like if you want to protect, I don't know, your Dragon Capture Jar, which might only have 1400 defense if you take control of the Komori Dragon, or protect your Dragon Piper or something else. Stop Defense, an English Shine Palace, and basic cards. Reinforcements gives a monster 500 extra attack points. Castle Walls 500 defense points. The original Dragon Capture Jar, and this Enchanted Javelin, which just seems like a mythological card that Pegasus would play. Even though it doesn't negate an attack, it's just when they attack, you activate and you gain the attack points. Yeah, what else was I going to say? In the manga, rituals actually require 2 sacrifices. So if you ever get a chance to pick up the Duelist edition, you'll see that Pegasus sacrificed 2 monsters instead of 1 like in the anime. Which makes it more fair because Relinquished, like in Duelist Kingdom rules, is just ridiculous. So, what else? No life point cost on Toon World. It's funny because the Toon World in the original Magic Ruler in Japanese actually had this convoluted effect, believe it or not. It actually had an effect like, it was something like you pay 1,000 to activate it, but then you keep paying 500 during your standby. I have it, 2 of them. You pay 500 during your standby phase, and then when Toon World's destroyed, you gain all that life points back. Like, it was just kind of stupid. I wish that didn't even have the pay 1,000 life points thing. But anyway, so that's Pegasus, and I hope you appreciated that, because Pegasus has always been one of my favorite characters. And so I have more Duelist Kingdom decks, which I'll go through. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and comment, share, all that stuff. Okay, till next time.